Like,
Ooh.
I think that's one criticism T1's gotten, right? Like, a few of the fanboys say Cuckoo's kind of lost his choo-choo, but Cuckoo is Cuckoo. And if this is the offlane Undying, I'm keen to see what he does, because that has looked good. KP's made it look good in the offlane. It's just looked really, really strong. So much early presence. March looks a lot jollier right now, too. He doesn't look as
No.
serious. The atmosphere in T1 looks a lot lighter.
He looked serious a second ago. John Cuckoo started laughing, and March was just laughing back, saying, "Listen, you're laughing now. You lose this game, we might have to get some more OG members on this team. You better be careful, Cuckoo."
Oh, goodness. The threats come out.
I mean,
Oh.
you never know. You got to be careful. You never know. Still, fourth pickup, RSG.
T1's turn to ban. Slark.
Look, go for the
Oh.
Slark pickup. This is a POS one that's been very, very popular as of late. Very strong in the current meta. Of course, we constantly see the Ags build up with the double pounce. Huge range on that pounce as well. Very good against the Morphling, just taking the stats away, rooting him, or rather leashing him in place. Can be very effective. And even against a hero like Undying. Like, Undying wants to steal strength away, you just take it back. And the tankier the Undying gets, the tankier you get as a Slark, because you're just taking stats over and over again. It's like, yeah, it's like almost transferring from your teammates to you. Like, he takes it from your teammates, then you take it back from him, so then your teammates are effectively giving you stats as a Slark. It's very clever.
Oh yeah, it's a feedback loop, a positive feedback loop, I suppose, for RSG's end. And I do like the Slark, not just for that, but just having this spell on hand, having a way of jumping out of the Clockworks, hookshot, cogs, battery assault combo. You're gonna be pretty safe, and you've always got the save of that Ash, the shard, right? Like the Shadow Dance and the AoE for your teammates. It's gonna be big in kind of stalling these fights out as well. And this is an MKS special. Like, we've seen him pick this up from the DPC as well. One of the few players that does dip into that Slark. I think the only time in C we saw that was from MKS, and I want to say Savage. So he knows this hero in and out. It does look like a fairly good game for it as well. I am really curious how they close out an RSG Zendo. Like, again, there's this flex on the Primal Beast that could be Xiao Yu playing it, could be Exilern. The last pick is gonna really cement that, and RSG has last pick overall, so they should be able to adjust their draft based on what they see T1 doing with this Morphling.
Absolutely. Final banouts to come. T1, they'll have the first ban here for the final ban. Plenty of reserve time to think about it if they so wish. I'll have a heavy think about it. It does seem like they are banning out either mid laners or off laners. It should be a mid laner though. Primal Beast more than likely in the off lane here for RSG. You never know though. Thompson, I believe, was the one who started the mid Primal Beast back in his pub. So you never know. There he is. There's the man. Why do I hear boss music all of a sudden? Giga Chat Thompson. There's a Lycan ban out as well. So T1 just not wanting to allow any cheese picks to come out either from RSG. And they are known to pick these kind of cheesier picks once in a while. So you do have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, just preventing Xiao Yu from maybe getting a really good Lycan combo, like Lycan Ags with Slark, a hidden wolf running at you that can jump, a fish wolf, as one would say. Would be pretty terrifying. So just cut off that T1 last pickup. Either the Ana or Thompson here. I think we're kind of locked into the Cuckoo Undying, although there's room for a Cuckoo Clockwork. Core Clock can come out. I don't think it's as scaling as the Undying, or as dominant early on as the Undying. So I'm keen to see what IDs do they have in mind here. Huh.
Leshrac and DP. So it should be a mid DP, pos 1 Morphling, or pos 1 Undying, pos 3 DP, mid Morphling, which is something I think you actually prefer.
Yes, yeah, I like the way you think, Mikey. I think you're getting some very wrong ideas for Dota now out for me, and I like that. We haven't seen the pos 1 Undying in a while. You are getting some sick ideas, Mike. This is not good, but I like it. Thank you.
It's because T1's got Anna Thompson. You know they're going to run something weird.
Core Undying. I mean, I'd love to see that. Like the Shard Echo Saber build, and you just stack attack speed, and then you just machine gun some zombies up when you have your flash golem. It can be fun. Now, Core Undying up against the Slark is still kind of weird, because you, as you said, you just get stats up, and then Slark just hits you with all your strength, and you get more agi, especially once you hit your leveled spikes with the Essence Shift per stack. The agi per stack of Essence Shift goes up. It's going to feel really good for MKS. think the safer bet is that Ana Morphling. You kind of run it a bit more standard. Go with a mid DP for tops. And this is probably the most standard draft from T1 we've seen if they do go for that way, not the flex of the pause one Undying. If they go for that pause one Undying, I'd say hell yeah, let's go for it. Let's find out what happens, Mike.
Final pick. RSG, balls in their court. Let's see what they get done. Seconds left for this final pick up here. RSG really thinking about it.
Choose your hero.
Oh, they'll bring out the Tusk. Fair enough. That's going to be a pretty interesting. So offlane Tusk or mid Tusk? What's going on here, John?
It's open. I have seen mid Tusk, not in pro game, but I know it works. I think it's still the Excel Learn Primal Beast. Xiaoyu Tusk sounds like more in line, and it is a Xiaoyu specialty. So you do have some good save coming out. They will run the Ana Undying. Let's go. Safe lane Undying.
There we go.
Back again. I am hyped up. I can't wait.
Yeah, so is Anna, as you can tell by his face. He looks very, very hyped right now, Anna. don't fall. Anna, wake up. Come on now. Don't fall. Look at he's got bags under his eyes. He's tired. The poor bloke's tired. Give him a rest. He needs a bit of rest, right? He's been playing too many games recently.
I'm sure he has, and I'm sure Doms has also wanted some rest. I believe the boys are in boot camping in Malaysia right now. So they've got a good environment to go out and relax in, and maybe Ana needs a little bit of a break. We do see, again, Xiaoyu picks up the Tusk. Excellent will take that mid-primal beast, and Topson is playing the mid-morph. So I'm keen to see how much RSG can get done. Again, they've had at least one series to do some research on T1. RSG's been getting a lot of practice in. I know these guys have been working pretty damn hard. And we did see Coach Ohai in the background. He looked pretty happy. It didn't look too tense there for RSG. They do have a good draft. They've got good momentum coming out here. The lanes can be really aggressive, but so can T1's lanes. So there's a lot of back and forth left here. I think the lane to watch out for from T1 is going to be Ana's lane, because Undying's early presence is just so strong. I think the off-lane Tusk for Xiaoyu, while it does have some play, Undying punishes that sort of play really well, because you clump up. You want to play with tag team and clump up. Undying's just going to get free strength.
Big smiles on the faces of T1. At least there were big smiles on the faces of T1, as we are going to get into game number one very, very soon. Jonathan, the floor is yours. 4 predictions to be made. A lot of viewers watching right now, sir.
Ugh.
What are the guaranteed 100% predictions from John X Fire this game?
Highest net worth by 25. I actually want to say... Oh, actually, top Ana could actually farm pretty fast on Undying by 25. Team with the most runes picked up by 10. I would lean towards... T1 has really good supports to rotate. Which team will win? I want to say RSG, but honestly, I don't think they've figured out the core Undying. T1, longest kill streak. I want to say Topson. He's probably the hardest to kill off there. It is still a fairly decent Morphling game.
Okay, fair enough. Should be an interesting one. There you go. There's your predictions, chap. Enjoy. RSG, MKS just currently chilling out in the mid lane by the Observer Ward, just making sure nobody gets near his Observer Ward there is Topson. We'll watch him. A little bit of a wrap around here from T1, but MKS should be just fine to walk his way out. Don't know if there's going to be a level 1 team fight this game. I mean, you've got RSG with the Tusk. That's the thing, right? Like, Xiaoyu might feel like, hey, I've got tag team. Let's go. Let's try and get something done here against the side of T1 early on. Because you can't underestimate the slow potential of this Techies with that sticky bomb either. I always kind of rave on about how strong Techies is at the moment. Jia Bonbon seems to agree with me. So we do get into it. Jia Bonbon going to move forward. Sticky bomb is there. Zephyr, he'll have the battery assault. Xiaoyu going to be able to outpick him though. Fast hands on the Tusk. It is going to be, I believe, a 2-for-2 trade anyway, as Cuckoo is going to be able to secure the last banner rune for his team. And let's start with the mid lane. You are going to have the mid Learn Primal Beast coming out. He'll be against the Morphling of Topson in this mid lane. Jonathan, we haven't seen Primal Beast versus Morphling mid yet. How does this matchup meant to go?
I feel like it's pretty farmy for the first 2 levels. Maybe once Learn has a level 2, you could try to be aggressive right before Topson hits that level 2 attribute shift. Once you have that up, I mean, Topson's pretty safe. In fact, this Morphling matchup is pretty good. Just because you've got the waveform to level up, you're not going to be caught under to trample, which really feels like the Problem Beast's one trump card in lane to really bully. So Thompson's always got a way out of danger. And that should mean he just has a consistent time farming. Excellent shouldn't be held off from farming either. So it might just boil down to whoever gets better rune control down the line here.
Of course, that bottom lane as well. You're going to have the DP, MKS, and Roger going at it here against Anna. Excuse me, did I say DP? I meant Slark. Roger, he's dropping quite low already. Anna, he's going to go for a chase. Roger will Fairy Fire up. Kind of a hard lane here for Roger to actually get anything done in on that Elder Titan. You do have that pos 1 Undying hanging around here from T1, and it's not going to be that easy to try and harass and abuse with this Elder Titan. And of course, you're going to have the support there of Whitemon as well on the line, which again is going to make it rather difficult for Roger. Maybe not so much for MKS, as he does try and make the jump in. But Anna will be there to zone them out. Nothing going to come out of this. Meanwhile, mid lane, Thompson fighting back against XC Learn. Really getting a lot of damage in, but XC Learn playing on the edge, does have the bottle, is going to be just fine.
Yeah, he's farming up fairly well, doing a good job of just slowing Thompson down just by a tad. Thompson still managing to find some really good CS though, so he's not being held back too much, but the bottle refills coming out for Exelern, and his mobility with the Onslaught does mean that he's going to have a better time for the next creep wave. Well, Thompson should have some regen flying back in. Last lane that we haven't touched is up top. A little bit of a chase out from Zephyr onto Xiaobonbon. The boots ensures that Xiaobonbon isn't in any danger though. Does manage to back off, but you are having a pretty damn good lane for Cuckoo. Like, there's not much Xiao you can do to stop that Death Prophet, and that's where the flex, that lane switching comes on hand. Like, the Undying can work against the Tusk lane, but the DP just dominates that lane. You do not want to snowball in, you do not want to try to run down with Tag Team, because Spirit Siphon in the early levels is really damn strong with the changes to it.
It certainly is. Xiaobonbon, only level 1 right now on the techies as well. Like, I always talk about the level 2 timing and the level 3 power spike of the techies. See, level 2 with the blast off always very potent. Level 3 even more so. They still don't have the blast off though, so Zephyr's going to be just fine to back away. Cuckoo will zone them out on the Death Prophet. Meanwhile, mid lane Thompson again going to be chased down by XC Learn with the trample and uproar. Thompson, strength morphing, is going to be able to survive through it. XC Learn would love a solo pick off onto Thompson and this Morphling. Not going to have the opportunity quite yet.
Still managed to zone him out pretty well though. Tramplet's not too long off. The Onslaught could try.
Now, Thompson still kind of manning up through it. The Trample doing a hell of a lot of damage. No mana for the waveform, but he will strength morph and be just fine. XC Learn, top of the CS board right now. On that Primal Beast, having a very good landing stage. Oh, Thompson, he's going to be careful. Xiaobonbon looking to cut him off. Thompson, he's very low on HP at the moment, but he'll strength morph back. Xiaobonbon does get spotted by the tower anyway. Wards are on the high ground to give that vision. So I suppose Thompson was never really in danger to begin with.
It's going to be just fine. A nice walk over from Zephyr as well, just to ensure no shenanigans happen on that mid. They want that stable start for Thompson and Anna though.
Yeah, MK is stuck around on very low HP, not respecting the decay. Decay is at level 2, so it does deal damage, and he does end up going down. Anna with the Soul Ring, he's got the mana every single time now. Meanwhile, mid lane, here we go again. They try onto Thompson, Onslaught connects. That's about all they get on Thompson, though. He's fine.
Yeah, he's going to be secure now. It does feel like as long as he's got mana with the attribute shift, he should be fine. He's got a good amount on the stun as well, just to ensure if the trample's in, he can just hold Exelern back. And overall, a pretty stable start for T1 already. Less than 1k lead going their way. The only real good lane from RSG so far is Exelern's lane, which, to be fair, is the backbone of your team for the most part, but does feel like you're going to want that build up rather soon, or a little bit faster on MKS. Like, this Slark wants some early activity, wants some early Edson Shift permanent stacks, and it's not really an easy game to get that done here.
Thompson's done a great job of catching up in CS as well. Still, Exelern is ahead by 3, but the Morphling still having a very good time. His bot lane, MKS, being very cautious now. Anna, level 4 mark, does have Tombstone up at level 1. KS does not want to feed another kill away here to the Undying if he can avoid it. Again, Roger really hasn't been able to do anything. This is the real positive about the lane switch that happened with T1, is Roger on the Elder Titan just hasn't had a game yet. Just has nothing to do apart from pull the lane. And he's trying his absolute best to do so. They've kind of accepted the fact that MKS he just needs to farm, and Roger, he just needs to give XP to the Slark. Just let him have it.
Yeah. Just as much as possible as he can possibly kind of get there. Some movements towards mid once more.
Yeah, Trample still going through the Hex. XE Learn with the Onslaught going to keep going. Whitemon, he'll Fairy Fire up, will survive. In comes Zephyr, but he cannot break the gap. He's only level 2 on that Clockwork. Nowhere near the level 6 mark yet. It's only 6 minutes into the game. But they do protect Whitemon. So the Lion is going to be able to salve up and walk away. RSG, so far, all their attempts have been foiled by T1. They are not allowing any kills to go the way of RSG.
Being really responsive towards the movements out from RSG, and opening up the side lanes makes things worse for RSG's end. I mean, MKS is still having a rough time farming. Xiao Yu isn't getting the build-up he'd want on this Tusk. His early levels aren't quite ramping up as well. And T1 just gets to take control in every way they'd want to. I mean, Ana's going for that Echo Saber build-up we talked about, so probably just a Shard Echo Saber build. Just run heroes down with a Flesh Golem when that's up and running. And you just don't have anything yet. I mean, they're keeping Xiao Bonbon actually just camped on mid because there's no play with Xiao Yu. And speaking of Xiao Yu,
In trouble top lane, Shard's not going to block them out. Cuckoo, he'll chase them down, secure the kill. Onslaught is there, XE Learn. He doesn't connect, but with the trample, he gets a bit of damage. Problem is Cuckoo will keep chasing. There's your Pulverize, but the damage output not too high. Blast off, but Fairy Fire. Cuckoo trying to run with the salve. He'll make it. Cuckoo barely making it out. T1, they are refusing to give any openings over to RSG.
yeah, I think they've gotten a good read that RSG really need this aggression coming through. They even smoke up just to ensure that they can walk away. They've got the stacks ready. Learn is not healthy enough for that.
Be careful, sir. Pulverize him. Yep, that'll do it. A little bit. You'll have to leave the rest be. Oh
Zephyr.
no, Zephyr's gonna see them now as well. There you go. Pings them out. Zephyr knows the large ones are still there. XE Learn, you cannot come back for this, sir. Level 3 is up for Zephyr, so he's got the level 2 battery assault. He will have to back. We'll see if they can steal those stacks away. It looks like Thompson is making his way over. He wants them. Here we go. Enjoy the farm that the Radiant was meant to have, Thompson. Blast off, they try. That's a lot of damage from Xiao Bonbon, but not quite enough to get any kills. Still, they try for Zephyr. They'll find the Clockwork, but what does it cost them? Xiao Yu, he's going to try to back, but Thompson, he's on the chase. There's the waveform. Roger shows up. Now the Onslaught. XE Learn, trying to help out his Tusk. We'll buy him some space. So Thompson, forced to back away. Still 1-3. RSG, they do pick up their first kill of the game. That'll be something. Meanwhile, MKS, he's dueling Ana.
That's pretty brave. Does have level 6 up, so it's harder for him to die. And Ana's kind of out of mana.
Oh, it was a little bit of a bait. The sticky bomb does not end up connecting, though. Ana, he will be able to walk away just fine. KS feeling a lot more confident to keep trying to fight his mid lane now. Roger gets an Echo Stomp. Going T1 to try and get aggressive. 1k advantage for the side of T1. RSG doing a good job of keeping up. Problem is, John, you look at the top 3 net worths on the board right now, they are all cores of T1.
And they've found everything they wanted to. I mean, Ana had a phenomenal lane. Thompson, he was being equaled by XE Learn, but they invested so much onto the mid that there's not much room for XE Learn to really farm and even get aggressive on. Like, he tries to charge in. Zephyr, just with a battery assault, can just shove that away. And RSG are now forced to play a slower game. Up against a Morphling, up against this core and dying with a mid-game spike. That's not what you want to achieve here. And Xiao Yu's just been static up top, which Cuckoo doesn't mind at all.
Ana?
It just...
MKS, he's hitting hard. A lot of essence shift taken. He'll pop the Shadow Dance. Ana, still going to have some TP rotations to come in. Cuckoo immediately TP's in. He will not allow that pos one Undying to die. And Ana is barely going to be able to survive. The Shadow Dance movement speed not proving to be enough with the rotation of Cuckoo.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to give that gauntlet win out to MKS. That's the most important part. Roger being chased around here.
Whitemon will not be able to keep up with Roger, though Roger does walk back to the high ground. Pings are out. They seem to know he's around there somewhere, and now the battery assault is going to connect. Roger, I suppose he had nowhere else to go. That was not his base he was running towards. So he will get caught, and Ana will take his second kill of the game on the Oppos one Undying.
Yeah, that's what you want to see here for Ana. Is just, he's still getting that build up. He isn't going for the shard, not queuing that up, but Echo Saber BKB blinks, so just wants to be aggressive and up front and just kind of cut off RSG from getting any safe clump up with how much the Undying gets in the middle of those engagements. RSG, I mean, this slower playstyle, it just doesn't feel like what this lineup wants to do. Like, we haven't seen the productivity of Xiao Bon from his techies. He's been showing up mid, but it hasn't been leading to any pickoffs. Neither has Roger had any impact as well on this other Titan. So you've cut off what the supports want to do here from RSG on T1's end. And it feels like a lot of RSG actually hinges, especially on Xiao Bon, to find that early momentum, because once he's ready to go, Xiao Yu tends to be ready to go. We're not seeing that just yet.
Roger, he's going to drop. Thompson now takes his first kill of the game on the Morphling. Nice little setup there from Whitemon on the Lion. These cores just picking up kill after kill. RSG to slow down a little bit, buy themselves more time for MKS to keep that farm going on the Slark. And speaking of the Devil, there is a smoke rotation. In fact, never mind. They're going to find Exilern on that Primal Beast. Xiao Bon will make the jump in. Exilern dropping low, but the mine damage, it's quite high. They got Zephyr, but Exilern's gone. That's a great pick-off once again. T1 finding a fantastic trade in Cuckoo immediately. He'll go for the Exo into the mid-tier 1 tower. This is going to be really problematic now for RSG if this goes down. It opens up the map too much for T1. You need more space for MKS. You can't allow the jungle to be taken right now by T1. They'll try to slow it down with the Older Titan Stomp, but Thompson's not backing off. Neither is Cuckoo. Eventually they may, and they will. But that's a lot of damage being dealt.
It's a good amount of chip out onto that mid-tier 1. Forces Xiao Yu to show up. They're not ready to play with his Tusk. Feels like Xiao Yu is still gunning for that blink first. Into the BKB, into the Ags. With a kickback, you're going to have a lot more to play with. But as is, I mean, T1 are just working the map so well. They still haven't revealed the finger from Whitemon. So they've got that burst damage ready to go. Zephyr has his hook shot ready as well. And they're just ready to rock and roll. There's really not much holding them back. And for RSG, they're just kind of farming right now. They're getting some space out for Exilern. His BKB is being formed up. Already has the Ogre Axe up and running. But it just feels like this momentum-based lineup now just needs to stay a little bit passive to get build up, and it just doesn't favor them too much.
Ana, stomp up top lane. Snowball is there. Xiao Yu has no spells to follow up, though. Hook shot. Oh, Zephyr, that's a perfect angle. Finds the hook right onto Xiao Yu. That Snowball, it's going to cost him his own life. They could have just backed. Maybe a bit of a panic Snowball there. He had nothing to follow up with.
Yeah, I don't think they could have gone for the all-in as well. It looked like Xiao Yu was just trying to poke and prod, but forces out a really big response. And now they're rotating back to mid. They want that tier 1. They've got a big kill, and if they want to, they could probably find it. Exo is still half a minute away, but with the damage done to the tower, it doesn't feel like you'll even need that exorcism, and they're just forcing RSG to plump up. They're not giving that much room out for RSG to recover.
Not allowing anything. MKS just trying to farm the Dire jungle. Will be able to pounce away from Cuckoo. Does have the Diffusal Blade up as well as that Falcon Blade. May start working on towards the Aghanim Scepter now that we do see on POS 1 Slugs quite a bit in this current patch. Might be the way to go, because it does feel like MKS is going to be forced to try and join these team fights very early on. Speaking of pickups, there's your Echo Saber now for Ana. So he is going for the classic Echo Saber into the Shards build-up, which we used to see with the POS 1 Undyings. Still very, very potent. Very hard to deal with all the zombies spawning up her right. Click a Zephyr, hook shot onto the Primal Beast. Whitemon's there to follow up, and Exilern, he cannot survive the damage. That'll be the T1 mid gone. No way to defend it. Top lane, Thompson, he's playing with Xiao Yu. Rotations are incoming. Snowball out from Thompson, right back into the Tusk. Xiao Yu, silenced up, is not going to survive either. T1 so far are making this game 1 look very easy.
And they've got control from every lane. They win out the laning phase in a big way. They're getting better rotations out. And RSG are just playing super passive with a lineup that feels like it wants to be all over them. But they just didn't get that start they want. They need to buy time for that build-up. MKS is still running up. He is working towards the Ags you mentioned there, Mike. Just start to save up for it. Might find Cuckoo, but doesn't even land the pounce.
Just a bit short. Does have the Diffusal Blade, but MKS is copying so much damage. Cuckoo with the Spirit Vessel and the Spirit Siphons. Really melting the Slug very, very quickly. They had a stun or a Hex from Whitemon. That probably would have been a kill. MKS, he is fine to back off for now. Definitely needs the Aghanim Scepter, I think, before he gets too involved here. Like, he's not mobile enough quite yet, I don't think, on the Slark to really help out his team yet. I think he just has to accept the time and space being given to him by RSG. And speaking of, they are going to go for a 4-man smoke into the mid lane. They're trying to focus down the pos when Undying. Anna falling low, falling very low. They've got him down. Zephyr now in trouble as well. RSG, they'll be happy with this. They just want to back out. It's Cuckoo will try to punish. There's a snowball to turn back around. Zhao Yu, he'll give his life away, but no, the blink away. They can't hold him down. Zhao Yu able to save his own life. And they got the big one. They got that pos one Undying. Anna's down.
So that's good news for RSG. Finally finding a kill that matters a little bit more here on their end. Getting some much needed gold out onto Exilern. BKB still a little bit more gold away, but once you've got that up and running, Primal Beast is going to be much more willing to be in that front line for the team. And for T1, well, they're still feeling strong. They're still clumped up. I mean, Finger is on cooldown for a bit longer. Hookshot is ready, and they know that they're kind of trying to group around bot. TP out already from Xiaobon Bon. Roger is still around here, though, if they want that.
They're going to know as well. The courier was sniped. Rocket Flare. Go right over the head of Roger. Not the biggest kill in the world here on the Elder Titan. It's just a pos 5, but Thompson, he loves position 5s. He'll move over. Barely misses out. Now sees him. Bit of sidestepping here from Roger. Actually jukes towards the north. Hook shots off the mark here from Zephyr. Rocket Flare is back off cooldown, but it's also going to miss Roger. He's broken the ankles of T1. And he TP's right out, back towards his team. Into the mid lane he goes.
They managed to waste a lot of time. And
Whitemon starting up. The blast off shards is there. Whitemon pulverized by Exilern. Now the shards out. Onto Cuckoo. They want the Death Prophet. Tombstone drop though. Anna, he's going to move in. The shards blocking them in almost. MKS, oh, he's going to drop. Thompson has his own shards as well. MKS, he'll get tipped by Cuckoo. And they protect the mid-tier 1 tower.
hold on, that is a really deep commitment out from RSG, especially dragging MKS like that. Like, maybe they just feel a little bit strong and protected with the Shadow Dance and the Death Shroud. Not quite enough. As T1 dipped into the Roshan now themselves. With the Exo committed out from Cuckoo, it's not going to take long. Roshan just absolutely melting. And no options left for RSG to jump in there. Still no key items flying out. Does look like the Ags is finished up on Exilern. So you have a safer time in running in, getting the Pulverize off. But it's a 5k lead for T1. They're hitting these early spikes. The Core Undying already having that BKB up so hard to deal with. And in theory, like you said from the draft there, Mike, there is a positive feedback loop where you can just kind of sap away at the Undying who's stealing the stats of your own allies, but that takes time. That takes farm for you to hit that fast, and it's not yet there for MKS.
A sort of scan out as well from T1. They've actually caught RSG on that high ground with that scan. Maybe assuming a smoke might be on the way, but T1 don't seem to react whatsoever to it. They just hang around that triangle. Bottom lane, Whitemon. Gonna see MKS underneath that Observer Ward. Look to back his way out. He's all alone right now. RSG are gonna find the ward anyway. Looking to play around too much. Instead, rotations back up towards the top lane where Xiaobon Bon should be all right, but Zephyr's going to be on a bit of a chase here on the clockwork. Rocket Flare and Hookshot are up. Rocket Flare does go over Xiaobon Bon. They do see the techies with the hookshot. Oh, it was actually just too short. It was right on target by Zephyr, but it was like a centimeter off. A bit unfortunate.
That's some space Xiaobon Bon's creating, allowing the rest of RSG to still try to get this build up. They even find the mid-tier 1 for their trouble. They're still kind of searching for the techies here.
They are. Xiaobon Bon, he's going to be okay. He'll TP up. Bottom lane, Whitemon defending the tier 2 tower. RSG, they are around. They could try to pincer him in and secure the Lion kill if they wish. Problem is, you are going to be trying to dive the tier 2 tower, and the TP rotations could come out quite fast here from T1 if you're not careful. They will scout him out. Jump in. Xiao Yu is there with the Walrus Punch. He blows him up. Nice pick up from Xiao Yu. MKS now feels free to move in to the tier 2 tower. However, top lane, Jia Bon Bon has been caught. Goes for the blast off towards the north. Does he have a TP? Not quite. He just used it. Meanwhile, MKS, he'll go on to Zephyr. On the Slark, he'll try with the Shadow Dance. Primal Beast will move in. They'll at least find Zephyr. While Thompson is still trying to chase down Jia Bon Bon. He'll go for the onslaught, but there's your Pulverize. Where's Thompson gone? There he is. He's back in. MKS gets blown up. Oh, MKS, he just disappears. Another tip out from Thompson. Can I see a replay of that? How much HP did just get deleted from MKS? Jump. Oh, no. Thompson. Oh, here we go. Thompson's doing Thompson things again, John. Here we go, Roger. Hex out, they find another. Righto, bring on the replay. Let's have a look.
It's a bit rough right now for RSG, you can see in that fight. They surround Thompson, they get BKB and the Pulverize off. It looks like they might find more. A bit of a fight breaking out onto Exilern right now as well. MKS, yeah,
Look at that.
shot him down. He had the Depth
Nice.
Shroud, he didn't manage to use it.
Oh, and he's onto Exilern. They try to go for Zephyr. He had the battery assault going. He didn't need it. Anna's here. High five up as well. They're feeling it now, T1. Keep in mind, they've got the shards up on the Undying as well, so you really can't underestimate the damage output of the Undying anymore. Level 15 talent as well with the plus 22 zombie damage. It's rough.
It's pretty tough right now for RSG. I think the key timing they have to kind of build up into now is Xiao Yu's BKB into Ags. Just that kickback can be big in turning these fights. The Ags for MKS is something we've been waiting for as well. He needs to be able to latch onto these heroes from very far away, but the BKBs do kind of ruin that. They are building into that spell opportunity. Anna's had his for a while. Cuckoo has his up and running. Thompson, he's almost done with the Ags, Mike. We're going to have more Fling Ags on hand with the bonus steals. So even more stats stolen, spell amp, agi, or strength depending on the hero. Thompson's going to have a lot of play once that's up and running here.
Who do you think he steals from? Like the Slark, maybe? The Slark, the Primal Beast, perhaps? More than likely? What are you thinking?
I feel like you actually do want Primal Beast and probably Tusk, just for the hold. Like, Tusk is very disruptive. Snowball for Thompson, kind of dance around in, it's pretty big. Shards to cut them off is also really nice, so I'd say Tusk might be a higher priority. And the Slark is pretty damn good as well, though. Like, there's nothing for MKS to defend against his own leash if it's turned against him. So there's a lot of back and forth play there. Still, RSG, I mean, that Ags time we talked about looks like it's only a part away now for MKS. And you've got the Blink up and running in Exilern. So you've got some play on hand. They just need to find the right heroes. At this point, it feels like you have to take care of the supports first, but you also don't want a prolonged fight up against Ana. Like, the Undying just grows way too big, so they're gonna have to choose their targets carefully here on RSG with a smoke.
Yeah. When we go. Bottom tier 2 tower, they'll get started. Thompson, he's hitting very hard. You don't even need the Exo for this. You may as well save it. Jia Bon Bon does not get spotted yet, but they are having a look around. Rocket Flare is up, but Zephyr, he does eventually commit it. Jia Bon Bon, he'll make the jump in. Thompson's the target. Strength Morph was there on the Morphling. He's still fine. He'll waveform out. Meanwhile, Anna, he'll move forward. He won't catch anyone. But the tier 2 tower is still under siege. In RSG, they find absolutely nothing. Nice attempt, but just not enough follow-up.
Yeah, they try to go all in, but they're just not able to get enough. Like, this Blink BKB timing's still great from Exilern, but you're just not ready on everyone else. Like, your chain control isn't quite there. They won't.
Go again, mid lane. MKS gonna try his absolute best. Walrus punches there. Maybe they can get him this time. The blast off, the pounce away. He's not gonna land the blast off in time.
Oh.
Now the onslaught by Thompson. He'll just go right back in. Look at this Giga Chad. Absolute Giga Chad is Thompson. As they will find another kill. 2 left on the side of RSG. They will try to run. Cuckoo will voice land the whole time. Oh boy, 8k advantage for T1 and RSG. I mean, they're trying. They find two supports for their trouble, but it's just not worth the trade.
No, definitely not. Big wins for T1. All their cores stay alive. They managed to get this really good push down mid. Xiao Yu does have the Ags, so maybe a bit of a reveal here if he wants, but doesn't have the follow-up if he even kicked Thompson back. Still, this is the moment where RSG can have even more play. And that's the timing that we tend to wait for. Xiao Yu can set the plays for his team now with the snowball into the kick. It's all about finding the right targets. Maybe you just play that pick-off game now with the Tusk. You can get that done relatively fast with his hero with the Yags up.
Yeah. Bottom lane, Anna, he is by himself. This could be an opening for RSG. Shards are on target. The Fusel Blade is there. Anna, he'll pop his BKB. Drop the Tombstone. He's very low on mana now. He'll pop the Flesh Golem though. Trying to fight back. With the Tombstone going, the zombies, they'll follow. Anna, still dropping low. Needs to keep fighting. Snowball is there. Hookshot's not in time. They've got the Pos 1 Undying down. RSG finding a great pickoff now. As Whitemon does move in with the finger. MKS is going to drop a great trade. As T1 will just keep going. Roger. He will drop to Cuckoo. Onto more they go. Xiao Yu. The zombies are still following him down. Anna laughing from the grave as Thompson. He'll take the double. Godlike spree for Thompson. 9-0-5.
Yeah, they're getting way too much. It takes so much commitment just to find the Undying. 9-22 now. That's RSG. I mean, they get these key items. They try to clump up, but they don't clump up as 5. They still try to work the map. They still try to get that build up. But it does feel like they need that full commitment because T1's just ready to turn. And that was a sickening max range Earth Spike out from Whitemon into the finger. Just barely clipping onto MKS on the edge. Just managing to clean up that kill. And for RSG, I mean, this game is just difficult. You've got the BKBs up and running now on Thompson as well. I still have to see what he decides to morph into. I'd really love to see the bonus stats in place. It just sounds funny and it kind of busted, but also kind of not. So I want to see him say turn into Problem Beast, how much tankier he is there. Turn into Slark, how much more attack speed you really have. Could be very interesting to see. With a 9k lead up, T1 in no hurry at all. They've got scaling locked in with Thompson. Although down the line, I mean, Undying does kind of taper off, and you can see Anna's itemization going into the raid pact. So they know that the scaling core is going to be Thompson. They just need to go to utility now for everyone else. For RSG, they're still clumping around here. They still have this kickback ready on Xiao Yu.
Are scanning.
See what they can get done with it, MKS. I mean, he's showing signs of brilliance here with RSG. I mean, they are certainly not out of this game yet. Smoke rotation, RT1, they're on the high ground. This is not good news at all. RSG need to retreat. This is not the fight. They're going to try. They have lost Xiao Yu on the Tusk, it seems, as Xiao Yu eventually going to drop. Not the worst situation, but now with their pos 3 Tusk down, T1, they are going to rush for the Roshan pit. It is still 15 seconds away, though. A counter smoke now from RSG. 4v5 scenario, they want to go for the surprise. They think Roshan's happening. They'll find out now it's not. A great blast off. It lands on 2. Anna's caught. Whitemon, Anna, they're both gone. No buyback for Anna. Whitemon does commit his buyback immediately, but RSG, they salvage a pretty bad situation and turn it into a pretty good situation.
It's a nice kill to pick up. Not the biggest in the world, but they do force the buyback from the Whitemon, and that will force a little bit more caution out from T1. Wait for the respawn on Anna, which will allow the side of RSG to play with Xiao Yu. And again, try to go for those kickback plays. He's been gunning for a lot of different heroes. Last fight, he did kick back Cuckoo, but the BKB does ensure that the DP is not going to tie off anytime soon.
Thompson stuff. He's chasing down Xiaobonbon. He's got the pounces going, though he needs a few seconds for that cooldown. Xiaobonbon purges out. They are going to try and move back in. MKS, he cannot man fight whatsoever against this Morphling. Nice try.
That 70 bonus attack speed plus the stolen morph Agi is pretty busted. You can't quite just right-click down a Morphling when he takes your form there on a Slark. You won't have the damage or attack speed to kind of match him. So the value on the Ags is already showing itself there, Mikey. Shiva's Guard fully up for Cuckoo now as well. As T1 still maintained the lead in this game, 11 to 23. RSG, and they're gonna have this BKB.
Oh, what a hook
hook
shot. Zephyr, right in. Forstaff was there. Exilern gonna go for the pulverize with the Komo no Mi once again. Looks like Zephyr is gonna be just fine. Is Exilern, he'll get out of there. Meanwhile, Thompson, he'll get to work. He's got that Slark morph again. There goes Roger. Ja Bonbon, blast off at Thompson, right behind him. What blast off? He comes right back to the Morphling. In we go again. Roshan is still available. Anna will get started.
It's not going to take long for this one to fall down. Roche number 2, Aegis and Shard ready to go here. And for RSG, I mean, they have these unique draft ideas. They've been trying out this mid Problem Beast. They go back to the Raji Elder Titan, which I believe is one of his favorite heroes, one of his specialties from his time in SMG and before. But it's not enough. Like, they play such a passive game. T1 wins out all lanes. They've been winning out all the engagements here as well. Their decision-making, their initiation from T1's just been very clean. I mean, you're at the point where even just Zephyr coming in solo is already a threat. Like, you might kill the Clockwork, but the follow-up's always going to be there for T1.
It's tier 2 top tower gone. I like the transition from Anna as well, John. He picks up a Wraith Pact on the Undying, so he's just acting as a pos 3 now. Like, he just appreciates that, yeah, Thompson's my real carry this game. I don't feel like carrying. Let Thompson do the work. Get the Wraith Pact, make the team fights even harder now for RSG. And they've been charging it a lot. These pouncies, these onslaughts, these snowballs and blinks in. But going into the Wraith Pact, you're going to be lacking so much damage here now against T1. RSG, 11k behind. They are already lacking quite a bit of damage to begin with. So with the Wraith Pact, it's going to feel quite impossible to fight. What can they do? Like, RSG, well, what do you think they need to build into? Or do they need to buy space, John? Well, what's it all about here to try and make a comeback throughout this game 1?
They need pick-offs. Just kill off the supports, start to get some permanent agi built up more onto MKS, you know, drag it out until he gets his level 20 talent. Once he does have that 20 talent in these prolonged fights, the Slark can feel a lot better with the additional agi he can steal out, or even just the attack speed, but probably just the agi. It's difficult to do that. Like, just look at T1's positioning. They are not breaking up as a unit 5. They get a good scan here as well.
Oh, they know MKS is in the tree line. They know someone's in the tree line. They're going to find him as well. Hookshot is there. MKS is just destroyed. Whitemon will give him the finger. 4 stacks for him now on that lion. The game sense from T1. They just know. They know someone's there. Shit, they just can't catch a break here, John. Losing that pos 1 Slark again. They're just getting further and further behind. Feels like they have no way of dealing with the Aegis of Thompson. And if you're T1, you're looking for high ground very soon with this Aegis. I mean, these team fights have been so one-sided anyway. Thompson's currently 8k ahead of the Slark in terms of net worth. There's a kickback onto Anna. He's not really the problem, though, and he's too tanky anyway. He's not dying. He's moving right in fact. He does not care.
Oh, boy.
He's just going to Giga Chat it up. Hookshot or not, he will take down Roger. How dare you kick the Humble God?
Yeah, they can't deal with him. It has to be the sports they kind of pick off first, but there's just no good angles for Xiaoyu to take. The front line's so well protected. They clear out the tier 3. Rack's not going to take long. They could go for Megas. I wouldn't blame them for going for tier 4s at this point, just because there's really nothing to stop them. But they'll play it safe on T1's end. Go for the mid set first.
If he's there with the Hex, they did not get the kickback onto Thompson. So Xiao Yu in trouble. Exilern at least does find a trade onto the line as Xiao Yu has survived. It's a 1 for nothing. Blast off is out, but the strength morph is there from Thompson. MKS now being caught out. He's the one being hunted by Thompson. Hookshot, Zephyr, where's he gone? Trying to go onto the tusk, but finds the creep wave instead. So Zephyr is going to be sacrificed here by T1. RSG, they'll lose 1 lane of barracks. They do protect the mid, though. They find a couple support pickoffs, and that'll allow them to remain in this game 1.
And that's what they need to keep doing. Again, look for these squishery supports. Make the fight a little bit uncomfy for the side of T1. And just try to find a numbers advantage and work your way from there. 12k lead still remains for T1 though, Mike. Pretty massive lead at this point in the game. Although at 35 minutes, it's not the biggest in the world, but a lot of that gold is on Thompson. He is so far ahead of everyone else. It's kind of maddening. They're trying to push.
try. Echo stops there. Oh boy. Yeah. Excellent. Does end up going down. Way out of position for RSG. Obviously, it's desperate times right now, John. You can't quite blame them, but it feels like it's just, you gotta buy more space, I suppose, for MKS. Then again, John, he's 0-6 right now on the Slark. He has not had a good game whatsoever.
No, and I don't think it's really space you're looking for, just pickoffs. You really need to find a backline somehow. Just punish the supports of T1. And again, it provides you openings to deal with these cores, because these cores by themselves don't have the most team fight in the world. You can use that against him, although it depends on what Thompson's form takes, as his morphs have been really impactful.
He has Lincoln's this time. Lincoln's will be broken. The Walrus kick, though, never there. Still, they'll jump in with the blast off Thompson. He does go down. That'll be the first death of the game for Thompson. RSG, they have found an opening for this team fight. MKS, they'll rush now. Cuckoo, he'll get diffused up, slowed down. He will force Staff away. In goes Xiaoyu, but the kick is onto Whitemon and it goes the wrong way. Snowball out now, back to the high ground for Xiaoyu. In T1, they are not fighting without their Morphling. They'll back. RSG, however, they've got to go. There's no buyback on Thompson. This is the opening they've been waiting for.
And that's what they need. And for some reason, T1 in that fight onto the high ground, Zephyr and Whitemon were so far away. Like, they could not come in to help. They weren't there to disrupt the fight. With the hook shots, with the Hex, with the Earth Spikes coming out, it allowed RSG to just dogpile onto Thompson and still have the damage for him. Still,
T1, they're still hanging around. Anna, he'll get kicked back. He does have BKB and the Tombstone. It'll be dropped. Decays are going now. Who have they got? They'll try onto Zhao Bonbon. The Techies has been caught, will go down. In goes MKS onto Zephyr. A stomp is there. It will not help the cause. Anna, he's still going. Still stealing strength away, but Zephyr is going to go down as now Whitemon. He'll be targeted by XE Learn with the Pulverize. Zephyr, he'll be forced to buy back on the Clockwork as XE Learn. He's looking for a way out now. He does not want to be here any longer, but he has no choice in the matter. Zephyr would love to find a little bit more, but does not have hookshot off cooldown. So not a bad fight whatsoever. You forced the Clockwork buyback, but it costs you 2 lives. That was your mid-primal beast going down as well. Not the greatest fight at all for RSG.
not the greatest, but a fight they needed. Every time they find a kill, that's still an important win or an important gain for them. You can see in that fight. Look at the minimap. Look at how far Whitemon and Zephyr are. That's what they need to do. Kill the supports, or at least drag them away from these fights, and you can find those openings.
You saw a replay as well of Thompson getting delayed in that last team fight as well. You're just going to be so careful of this untying. Just too many decays being given back the way of that man. As now a team fight breaks out. MKS has been caught. Still, they'll go for a Walrus Punch. Zephyr, he does force stuff away. Snowball is backing him up, but no, the Glimmer Cape. It'll buy a bit of time. Xiaoyu still trying to look around, cannot find the Clockwork, as he will BKB TP out. He does not want to stick around. The only person left without a kill on the board here, or rather a death on the board for T1, is Cuckoo. He's 9-0-11 right now, so the offlane DP's having a great time.
He's just had a fantastic time. He's controlling that top lane really well. His item buildup just allows him to be super active. He's got the refresh up, double BKB usage on hand. Very hard to kind of focus in on, and his healing is just insane. There's nothing to stop such rapid healing in this game as well. Ana, full assault Purus up, even more attack speed to kind of have with the Flash Golem zombies coming out there. It's a full-on Halloween party when Ana's onto someone. MKS?
Whitemon, he'll blink away. MKS, gonna be okay. He'll avoid the Earth Spike. XE Learn will pop the Pulverize, force the BKB from Ana, but there's a hook shot. Zephyr on target again. XE Learn, he'll onslaught away with the BKB. He'll survive for now, and the Stomp will hold them back though. Whitemon still trying to move in, but Xiaoyu, he'll get caught by the Hex, the Finger. It's there as well. Xiaoyu's gone. Trying to catch the Lion, but does not get so lucky. Zhao Bonbon, blast off away. XE Learn, he'll onslaught away as well. Zephyr still on the chase, but hook shots on cooldown for another 20 seconds. They are just going to chase with the rocket flare. Keep getting that vision up. Cogs, is it going to be out? Yes, it will. Zephyr connects the dust, and meanwhile, mid lane, MKS will get the BKB TP away in time on the Slark. Zhao Bonbon, however, he will not be so lucky. He'll try to run with the Glimmer Cape into the tree line. He might actually make it out, and he does. But T1, they're only interested in objectives right now anyway. Thompson, into the mid-tier 3 tower. He doesn't care about the support techies. And the techies has no TP anyway. KS tries to get those essence shifts going. Thompson shows no signs of caring. That'll be the mid-racks gone. T1, another objective taken.
Yep. Clean up. One lane of Rack's advantage now here for T1. Have to say one thing as well here, Mike. Thompson, with the Ags, if he turns into an enemy Tusk, apparently he also gets Walrus Kick, if I saw that right. So, you know, a free kickback for Thompson in case they need to simplify these fights further on from the side of T1. For RSG, their options are getting limited. Now it really feels like you're just depending on Xiaoyu to put someone heavily out of position. You still have to take care of these supports. T1, smoke play here.
He'll try to scout out the Roshan pit with the Shivers Guard. Nobody in there yet because the Roshan is still about 15 seconds away from respawning. And T1 with the 4-man smoke waiting across the river on their own side of things, on the Dire side. RSG patiently waiting for someone to be out of position for the kickback. T1 trying to bait with a haste rune. MKS, he takes it, in they go. A 3-man cogs, with the tombstone right outside of it. This is not a good fight whatsoever. They'll keep it going though. Banana's got the BKB. The blast off does nothing. Xiao Bon is gonna drop. So will the Primal Beast. Onto Roger they go. Thompson, he'll move right in. That'll be another kill and 3 buybacks committed from RSG. Zephyr setting up the perfect team fight with a 3-man cogs. And now another smoke. RSG, do they know? They might think the Roshan's happening right now. Zephyr will reveal it. Roger, fine for now. Xiaoyu, not so much. Thompson blows him up. There goes the pulverize. It's cancelled by Whitemon. MKS tries to jump the Lion. A big blast off by Xiao Bon onto 3, but there's no damage. There is just 0 damage coming out from RSG, as they are going to lose 3 more heroes. And in fact, MKS, he's not out of the woods yet either. Thompson's on the chase. He's got the Tusk form. He'll chase him down. Pounce was on cooldown. There's your Pounce out now, though. Back into the Roshan pit, I think, for T1.
Not going to take too long. And they've still got Exo. They will refresh the Exo just to clear out this Rosh.
Roger.
And they should be able to find him.
He's trying to delay the Roshan happening. He's been caught out, however. Anna's not having any of it. Whitemon will give him the finger once again. And Roshan, it will indeed go the way of T1. Who gets the Axe Blessing? It seems like it's going to be Cuckoo.
Yeah, I mean, why not at this point? Like the free Ags, the speed up, the push, speed up these fights with all the little ghosts you spawn. Just kind of makes this game a lot faster for the side of T1. RSG, I mean, with those diebacks, I don't know if you have any options. You're at least going to be playing against Mega Creeps. I still don't see a great defense coming out. If Xiaoyu kicks into the fountain, like twice over, that could stall the game out, but you're dealing with Mega Creeps. This lineup doesn't wave clear all too well.
31k advantage as well. They'll try to kick back towards the fountain onto Anna, but he's not the problem. The problem's Thompson. He gets the shards off. Xiaoyu is gone. MKS, he'll try for the man fight. Anna's just tanking through it. He doesn't care. He's just standing there taunting him. Right in front of the fountain. Just tanks all the damage. Tier 4 towers, they're going to be under siege. MKS, he's going to try. He's going to try, but the kickback from Thompson. Thompson. He's styling on them now, John. He is styling on the side of RSG. It's MKS, he's brought back. In they go. Anna, he will at least drop. They've got the Aegis. Meanwhile, Xiao Bon trying to slow down the Ancient going down, but the hook shot's there. Thompson just hitting away onto the Ancient. In fact, never mind that. He wants the kills. Pounce towards the south, though. Have they gone too far? RSG, they might punish. Thompson, he'll pop the BKB. He still has the Aegis. Can they at least find that? Thompson, look at this Giga Chat. He'll man fight. There goes the Aegis, though, XE Learn with the Pulverize. He'll get one down. He'll even find the Aegis of Thompson, but the Ancient's still exposed. He'll get the job done now. No more playing around. That'll be it. Game 1 to go the way of T1. A fun matchup between these two, but T1, they were just way too dominant here. Way too dominant.
Yeah, and they go back into that Morphling that we saw them pull out in their last matchup, and Thompson just has a really good time. Uh, Dances around, shows his muscle there just a bit. And RSG, I mean, they looked a little bit broken there, Mike. This was a hopeful team in Tour 3. They almost had a shot at the majors, and they've been on the up and up, but T1 is just such a different beast with On and Thompson. They have to make some adjustments. Like they've got to choose their poison. Do they ban out the Marcy or do they ban out the Morphling? They could ban out both, but who knows what T1 picks afterwards? And I think that's the scary thing up against T1. You just know so little about the team. Like you've only seen this Marcy and Morphling. There must be more left there.
You're 100% right. There probably is much more left there. I don't know if we're going to bring up the scoreboard here to see exactly what happened for that game or the recap of the game. If not, though, Cuckoo ends up going completely unkilled here, 13-0-17. So a fantastic performance from our offlaner Cuckoo. On the Death Prophet, Thompson 15-1-11. He had a little bit of a mark on his perfect record there. I believe it was that one fight in the mid lane. They just completely blew him up. They threw everything but the kitchen sink to get rid of this Morphling. Fantastic performance overall from T1 altogether. With that, John, we are going to head off to a very short break. And right after the break, of course, we'll be back with Game 2's draft between T1 and RSG. We'll see you then.
we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality where a group of letters can mean everything. Where runes are collected and Aegis can only be won in battle. Where centaurs can give you a ride. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are going into Game 2 draft here between T1 and, of course, RSG. It's MLP Dota and John X5 once again. John, I've got to ask you this difficult question, right? Because you and I, we won a 3-game series here between these two teams. What do RSG need to change up in this draft number 2 to try and put up a bit of a better match, right? Because there were moments of brilliance here from the side of RSG, but you got to be honest, T1 were dominant pretty much almost the whole way through the game. So what do you think they need to change up, at least in the draft phase? And we do get to see a recap, but please answer that question for me.
I think they've got to be ready for this Morphling flex. Like Thompson taking it mid, he had a pretty good lane up against Exilern. You have to choose your poison here for RSG. You've got to maybe even just ban out Morphling and Marcy first phase up against T1 and force them to play something else. Because as it stands, T1 has just looked amazing with the Morphling, and specifically they've had it so many times, and Thompson has just looked really good in that hero. So I think RSG's got to adjust. They do change their bans here. I'm very curious. The draft is on hand. We'll see it very shortly, I'm sure. But they changed their bans here, Mike. They take out the Undying and the Morphling. So they leave the Marcy in for potentially Ana to play once more. And for T1, I mean, they're taking care of some excellent specials. Batrider gone. That's something we've seen RSG enjoy on Xiaoyu and on Exilern. And they've got room to kind of just ban even more comfort from there. The Primal Beast could be one thing to take away now. Mid stuff like the DK, I think for Exilern is one of his best heroes on mid. Something he's performed on along with his Ember. Could be safe bans as well. They take out the Faces Void instead for MKS that we have seen rise up. But they've got this opening. If RSG doesn't take the Marcy here, T1 probably just going to pick it straight up.
Absolutely. See if RSG do want to take it. They have the opportunity to deny the Marcy away. Problem is with these kind of drafting style is you don't want to like draft into T1, but you do have to address it, and they do take the Marcy. Luckily, Marcy very, very strong in the meta. RSG, they'll have a fun time running this one as well. So T1, they will not have the opportunity for the Morph, nor the Marcy, nor the Undying. And that means we should see something new coming out from these two cores here on the side of T1. Let's see where this draft is headed. You mentioned it last game, T1, surely they have a few more strats up their sleeves, a few more heroes up their sleeves that we haven't seen yet. I'm very curious to see where they want to go with this.
Yeah, it's really open. Again, because of how they're scrimming, because of how close to their chest they're keeping their cards, no one has that much info as to what they want to do. They go with the Enigma, which is kind of just a safe pickup. You could run it support, you could run that for Cuckoo offlane, and this is a more classic T1 draft, right? And we see the Trained Protector come out, and that tends to be either Zephyr or Whitemon playing it. They do love that hero equally. So there's some flex here. You could still run the Enigma on the support role for one of these two. You could give it to Cuckoo very early on. But this does, just from the first phase, this seems much more manageable. Like the Wombo combo is there, don't get me wrong. Black Hole and Overgrowth is big. But in terms of kind of figuring out a playstyle from T1, this is the most straightforward they've opened with yet.
I appreciate the Rubik pickup at the very least from RSG. Obviously one of the best counters towards the Enigma. Always forcing the BKB into the Lincoln Sphere to make sure you don't give a free black hole away, back the way of RSG. Also very good Rubik pick here into the Train Protector, right? Like you love stealing Overgrowth as well. Both very, very potent abilities to have on a hero like the Rubik. So far, I think RSG off to a fantastic start with this draft.
T1's turn to ban.
Yeah, I think they've got the answers to what might come out. I mean, you've got a very good spells to steal from the Treant and the Enigma. Of course, Black Hole, it's going to be relatively easy to reach out to here for Xiaowan Bon. More than likely that here, they still keep it open, kind of ensuring that the Marcy could be flexed here onto offlane for Xiao Yu or support if need be. Although it is looking like you are just running the Marcy and Rubik laning combo now. T1 for their part starting to ban out some bigger heroes. They take care of the Bristleback. RSG respect banning out this Invoker and a Problem Beast. So they are focusing mainly on tops in here. And it does feel like the mid's been their biggest issue, right? Like the Morphling caused so many issues last time. Ano, not so much. He did turn into more of a tempo Undying, although his presence from the early game was definitely felt. But I think RSG has a good guiding post as to what to do now. Like, as long as they take care of some of those freakier mids, tops, and can make work like magic, you should have yourself a better time.
Yeah. And RSG, these guys are a great team. Can't underestimate RSG whatsoever. Game 1 didn't look amazing for them, but they've adjusted. They've got a new draft going, new game, fresh mindset. Speaking of fresh mindset, Thompson, he's having a deep think to himself about these drafts, I think. Really thinking about what he's playing this game around. Why not mid Enigma, Thompson? Why not? I dare you.
Oh God. I don't think so, but you never know, I guess, with Thompson. He could just go with something insane like a Max Midnight Pulse build or Max Malefice build over Eidolons could be one way. I don't expect that. But you never know, I suppose. Never out of the realm of possibilities here for T1.
No.
For RSG, I mean, they're really having to think hard about these bans. Maybe at this point you just ban some of the more standard heroes. Ember Spirit could be one way. We know Ana still plays that here as well. He used to love it on safe lane. So you could still take care of the Ember here. Kind of kill two birds with one stone. There's not too much kind of scaring them away here from the bans as well. I mean, it's fairly safe bans from T1, like Winter Wyvern, Bristle. You've got a lot of room to just build up, double down on what core you'd want here for MKS. And you've got the Marcy to buff it up. Stuff like Jug feels pretty good. Terrorblade doesn't look too bad for RSG if T1 doesn't ban it in the next phase. So those could be considerations for them as well. But RSG are really taking their time. I think they're really just wondering what the hell is up with this opening.
Yeah, it's a weird one, that's for sure. I mean, they've got three, or either at least two more cores to ban out. We highly doubt it's a Tree and Protector core here. It should just be a white one on that. So they'll get rid of the Zeus. Fair enough. Something I was quite expecting. T1, one more ban for themselves. Not too much reserve time used for T1. They don't seem quite as concerned about this draft. It's a much more standard opening here for the side of RSG.
5 seconds
I have a
remaining.
bit of a think about it. We saw the Wyvern ban out earlier, so maybe just afraid of a Pulse 5 Wyvern. Oh, you never even know a mid Wyvern could come out. There's your Pango being banned out now as well by T1. We can see the drafts continue. Pango ban obviously pretty damn good against the Train Enigma. Just another way of cancelling off the Black Hole in the middle of these team fights. Just get rid of that Rolling Thunder opportunity that RSG could have gone for. It's T1. They'll have first pick in the second phase of picks.
Radiant team.
Get more cores to come out. They could still choose to go for a position 4 pickup for Zephyr, but no, they'll go down the Lone Druid route now.
It's a safe bet. I mean, nothing from RSG really melts that. We saw how fast a Lone Druid can take these objectives. So it looks like T1 might be doubling down on that good old T1 playstyle of just make sure your towers never fall with a tree and get some insane push out for the rest of your team. You've got the Eidolon army, you've got the Bear, Mask of Madness build into Deso, towers just melt. RSG has some solutions to that. I mean, the Marcy can kind of gun down the Bear, considering how much damage Marcy just naturally has with the Unleash up. So you could still melt it. Rubik with the damage reduction's also pretty alright in slowing it down to some extent. They will pick the Death Prophet on their side now on RSG, so that is still flex. I feel like Raji's the kind of guy who would still run a DP5 if he wants, but it could also just be the Exceler in mid. I mean, you don't really see your matchup yet here for RSG, so you could just kind of flex it for Raji. He still loves these Stranger 5s overall. Like, again, last time I saw him on his stream before he joined RSG, he was playing stuff like Ember 5 and saying stuff like that works. So,
Yeah, it
You know,
does.
never
There's
mind.
an Omni Knight. Yeah, Omni
Yeah.
Knight is out now, so that should be the Roger hero. But the thing is, John, Omni DP is extremely potent. We've seen this before. Very hard to control the Death Prophet when he's got an Omni Knight, when she's got an Omni Knight right behind here. And even with the Marcy, again, you just love to kind of rebound in. You like to pop that Unleash, pop the sidekick, and just get to work. With the Heavenly Grace and Guardian Angel behind you, you're going to feel a lot more safe doing that. Going back to the Death Prophet pick as well, John, I do appreciate it considering you are up against a Trade Protector, all that bonus armor and HP regen you give to the towers with that living armor. Not going to be so much of a problem anymore with the push that you have from the DP. And it is one of those heroes that naturally does quite well into the Lone Druid as well. So the drafting from RSG, I would argue, is probably a lot better than Game 1, at least for now.
yeah, it's shaping up a lot better. And you see the Quap come out here for T1.
What's my mind laughing about?
Every time he laughs when they pick something up, I keep thinking, are they going to flex this? Is this why they're having a giggle? Are we going to have something weird? Like, I don't know, support Lone Druid, flex that away, run something like on a Quap? Surely not. Now, that is definitely thinking way too outside the box. I mean, just a mid Quap versus DP sounds like a pretty good matchup. It does feel a bit too much to go that way. I mean, we did see a support Quap, to be fair. You know, we did just see that recently, which means Cuckoo might be able to maybe just take something like a Treant offlane if you really wanted to. Or the LD offlane, but I doubt you kind of go that route. Like, one of these, well, one set of two here has got to be the supports for sure. And RSG, this doesn't look like as much of an unmanageable matchup, although the magic damage output of T1 kind of nullifies the Guardian Angel. Like, you've got Sonic Wave, Black Hole. Those are pretty good already, even if that saving spell comes out from the Omni Knight.
Well, final banouts are here, Jonathan. They are upon us. My question to you, RSG, they are lacking a position 1 right now. You'll see T1, they do ban out the Terrorblade for now. Is there a particular pos 1 you think that fits the bill very good for RSG in this draft?
Not seeing a straightforward pick. Maybe, I mean, the Slark didn't have the best of times. The Slark could still be alright with the protection of the Omni Knight. Jug could be one way, and you naturally build into a Maelstrom. You can clear out the Eidolon army. Omni Slash gives you some options to play. Maybe you go a little bit strange instead. Luna could be one way to get that push accelerating on RSG's end, although we don't tend to see a lot of Luna nowadays. Weaver's not really the most slippery. I mean, it is, but you've got Overgrowth and Black Hole, so you should still be able to intercept a Weaver at some point if you wanted to go that route, and they do ban the Life Sealer instead, which can make sense. I mean, Life Sealer plus Marcy is pretty damn strong here for MKS. You just ensure that you don't have that option to rage out of Overgrowth as well, which can be annoying, or just rage out of your control in general outside of Black Hole. Or she's gonna have to show first, so T1 can adjust very nicely here.
Not much reserve time left here for RSG, only 3 seconds, and they are going to go the Troll Warlord route. I mean, that's fair enough. You can build up into the Dispel build up as well, right? With the shards on Troll Warlord these days, and it is a nice way of getting out of the root of the Lone Druid, I believe. So, and the Overgrowth even. So it could work out that way. Against the Lone Druid, you catch yourself, you know, kind of in a bit of an awkward pickle. At least you have the Battle Trance. Even against the Quap, the Ensnare is going to be quite nice. Troll, not one of the strongest pos 1s, but again, with an Omni Knight behind him, with that natural Dispel as well, it could just be the way that RSG needs to go. Because there really wasn't many pos 1s left that could deal with what the draft of T1 is trying to do. As I see smiling faces once again, what are T1 thinking? What are they picking up? Something's happening.
Oh yeah.
Are we going to see something cheeky?
Whenever they have those big smiles on their face, I just feel like they have something up their sleeve, or maybe they're just joking around. They're like, oh, this is going to be easy, or something like that. Or Whitemond's just saying something dumb, I know. But the possibility of them just doing something crazy is the one that's always on my mind. Like,
just noticed as well, We
Yeah.
haven't had the pleasure of seeing Whitemon snacking this afternoon either, which is very upsetting. No Snackmon for us, as they are going to go down the Razor route. So nothing too cheeky going on, just pretty standard. Razor against Troll Wall, although not a very fun matchup for the Troll. You know, you just get static linked. It's kind of rough. Anna's going to take the lone Druid Pos 1, tops in the mid quap, so nothing crazy going on here. It is going to be a support Whitemon Enigma though. So Pos 5 Enigma to come out, Zephyr playing the Pos 4 Treant, and Cuckoo will be taking the Pos 3 Razor. Again, pretty nice pickup though. Against the Troll Warlord, it's just not going to be a very fun time.
It's certainly not. My one concern for T1 is a general lack of control outside of these ultimates. Like, you are relying pretty much just on the bear rooting people up, outside of the Overgrowth and Black Hole and the Malefice. Malefice not the lowest cooldown in the world either, once you commit that onto a hero. So it does feel like RSG is going to have a little bit more play here. Although T1's lineup can still get really aggressive if it gets off to a fast start. RSG should be able to hold out a little bit better, but if T1 plays to that same tempo from last time, and, you know, maybe stall out a little bit more from the laning phase, but say hit some early BKB timings here on T1's end, I think RSG still has overall the same issues that present itself from game one. Like, it is certainly a lot more predictable as to what T1 will want to do. It's nothing strange like the core Pos 1 Undying, like the mid Morphling. They have managed to take that scariness away from T1, but I think even with a more straightforward draft, T1 still looks pretty scary to deal with.
I'd agree with you on that. At the very least, John, you did make the point that this should be a closer game number 2, and I would agree with that as well. I think the drafts are much more even going into this game number 2, and we'll see. It's all about how you perform. So we are going to head into game number 1. John, 4 predictions to be made, so we need the guaranteed answers for some Battle Pass points. What are you thinking?
Time of first tower destruction, concede around 8 to 11. There's a chance for sub 8, but 8 to 11 is always the safer bet. Player with the first triple kill. That is pretty hard to call. Maybe Thompson. Player with the highest total magic or pure damage done to heroes at game end. Oh, I feel like Enigma can get a good amount done, or Exilern can for magic, but perhaps still Thompson. First player to get 15 denies. I want to lean towards... Well, that's a little bit rough, but maybe Ana. There you go.
Thank you, John. You sounded very confident with those predictions. I appreciate that.
Absolutely not.
We move into game number 2. Bit of a group up here from RSG in that dire jungle. 5-man group up here, looking to maybe secure a first blood in an early team fight. They do draw a line down towards the other side of the map, so they really want to force this fight. Catch T1 off guard. T1 on the other side, not going to get caught out. RSG, they've run out of time anyway. And there was an observe ward watching their position all along, so it won't really matter. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade on the bounty, so another nice even start between these two teams. And as per usual, John, let's start off with the mid lane here. You're going to have Exilern on his signature Death Prophet flying out. He is going to be against the Queen of Pain of Thompson. Of course, last laning stage, Exilern was trying extremely hard to be aggressive against the Morphling with his Primal Beast. It did not work out in his favor. This laning stage, John, at least in terms of hero matchups, what are we thinking?
I think it's actually pretty even. Like, DP tends to win out most mid lane matchups. You play with a Spirit Siphon fairly well, and you can just kind of clear out the creep wave very nicely with a Crypt Swarm. But Thompson should be able to trade nicely as well with a Shadow Strike. He gets a little bit of healing, he's going to have some wave clear with the Scream, and he's going to have the Blink in comparison to Exilern, who doesn't have mobility on hand. You can already see Exilern dropping fairly low from the back and forth there. You're going to have to kind of juggle around that regen. Rune advantage should be onto Thompson as well if he does manage to get the value point in the Blink. So it should be smooth sailing for him unless a support rotation comes in and catches him off guard.
What about that bot lane, Jonathan? You're going to have Zephyr, Cuckoo. They'll be against Zhao Bonbon and Zhao Yu. So the lane switch up is there. They naturally don't want to have to lane the Troll against the Razor. Make sure that does not happen. It's not so easy for Zhao Yu anyway on the offlane Marcy, but at the very least you do have a nice way of escaping with the rebound. I think that's what they're kind of playing off here. Even if you don't have that, you at least have the lift back of Zhao Bonbon to help you out. But it still should be a rather dominant lane here for Cuckoo and Zephyr, it feels.
Yeah, they should still have a lot of play. Once they're kind of able to just run down, get some slows off with a plasma field, and kind of connect that with Nature's Grass, they could look to just chase down a hero, still have a great time in lane. Cuckoo's finding some farm. He's not slowing down Xiao Yu, but the earlier build-up for the Razor does feel like it's going to show up a little bit more. I mean, Xiao Yu, if he does hit his level 6 spike, can just melt these heroes, but there's a weird back and forth when you are Marcy versus Razor. Like, you have to choose whether or not you save a rebound for a retreat or for an offensive move.
Very, very true. Of course, that final lane up at top lane, MKS copying a fair bit of harassment here from Anna's Spirit Bear and Whitemon with those Eidolons. Roger is going to be there, so chances are he should not die. Even if he does get caught by the root of the Spirit Bear, he should have the Heavenly Grace to save, so MKS should be just fine in this top lane. In terms of farm, so far they are pretty much on par. 7 for 7 in terms of CS between these two position ones. And so I imagine this is going to be a pretty standard kind of farming lane between the two heroes. There's Roger. A bit of damage here from Whitemon, but they do farm up quite a lot of those Eidolons, and that's going to be some nice gold to go back the way of MKS.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of gold to come out. I think you're still all right with that. The Eidolons aren't worth too much, and Ana, as long as he's not the one being jumped on, is fine.
Bot lane, drops low. Verifier is going to be there. Zephyr, he'll salve up. He's barely going to survive. No first blood to go the way of RSG quite yet.
They're trying to be aggressive, and I do appreciate that. They've got the level 2 rebound. They've got both the telekinesis and the fade bolt, so they can try to run someone down. It's just Tree and Protector is also fairly tanky. And again, if you do land on the wrong spot of the map, and the slows coming out from the grasp, and the plasma field will allow Cuckoo to turn, so you kind of need to temper your aggression. Thompson's starting to comp a little bit more from mid. Axelern is starting to find his spacing here with the levels up on the Crypt Swarm. And he always has a bit the threat of the rundown with Spirit Siphon. The value point and Blink is up. But when you're trading with Shadow Strike versus trading with Crypt Swarm, it does feel better for the Death Prophet there.
Oh, I love myself a duel. Here we go. The gauntlet's up again between Xiao Yu and Cuckoo. The offlaners having a go at each other. I do agree with your point, though. I mean, Exilern's having a really nice time this mid lane. Mind you, he was leading in CS last game around as well against the Morphling on the Primal Beast, but this is much more dominant so far. 21-8 compared to the 15-0 of Thompson. Exilern, again, he's very strong when it comes to playing this Death Prophet. He's already off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, he's going to have a good timing onto the 6. We'll see if that's something RSG will be able to group around. I think the one issue for RSG in playing around with something like that early timing from Death Prophet is that your support duo isn't the most active. Your rotations aren't that scary, and they'll try onto Whitemon just a bit here.
Give it a crack. They don't have any more slows, and Anna is going to cut them off. MKS does get rooted up by the bear, but does have the whirling axes. Just avoid the bear going any further. So again, just really trading farm. A little bit of harassment being traded as well, but no kills to come out topside either. At the very least, MKS, with all these Eidolons he's been farming, his CS is looking pretty darn good right now. He's 25-11 compared to the 18-6 of Anna. But again, I do think a lot of those are going to be Eidolons.
Yeah, and in terms of net worth, he is up there as well. All the cores of RSG are finding a much better time in their lanes and getting that initial farm up. So the slower pace is starting to benefit them, although...
Mid lane, Blink Away is going to be there. Jean Bonbon trying to get active here with Exilern. They don't have any points in the silence, though. Had they had 1 point, that probably would have been a kill on Thompson. They decide to go for the level 3 Spirit Siphon instead. And Thompson, oh, he blinks right into Jean Bonbon. Where's the vision? Thompson, he's going to drop. Cheeky plays from RSG. First blood to go the way of the Radiant. Very nice from Jean Bonbon. You love to see that positioning.
Yeah, he just sneaks behind. He knows Thompson will likely try to just get more. And he punished really well. Exilern getting some good damage off onto Zephyr. Might not have enough for the full kill, but he has the Exo.
He does have the Exo. Into Zephyr he goes. The action does begin. Meanwhile, Whitemon barely able to TP away on the Enigma. Zephyr doesn't look so lucky, but Thompson, he's here to try and help out. Exilern, he'll abuse the Spirit Siphon on the creep wave and will be able to survive a little bit longer. Thompson not at that level 6 mark yet, so couldn't throw Sonic Wave out to finish the job. And somehow Zephyr, off the back of Thompson, will survive.
Yeah, they do force Exilern to just TP all the way home, though. So the Exorcism doesn't actually do much onto that mid-tier 1. And you're pretty satisfied about that if you're tier 1. You don't lose your support. You did drop Thompson, but you stopped that push, and that does feel like a lot of the momentum of RSG. It's gonna have to wait for another cooldown to go off first.
Radiant structures are
Mid lane.
fortified.
Thompson trying to be a little bit more aggressive here on the quap. We'll force out the glyph here onto the tier 1 tower. Top lane, Anna. Spirit Bear is falling low, but here come the rotations. MKS out of position, trying to harass Anna, but this may cost him his own life. The Nature's Grasp, the Malefice, it's all there, and MKS is going to go down. The highest CS on the board has died. Anna, he'll be the one to take the kill, and that's going to feel very good for that lone druid.
Cuckoo.
In trouble. Dispose is there. Zhao Yu, he has plenty of damage with the sidekick, but not while the static link is going. Cuckoo, very confident with that living armor to back him up as well. He will not drop.
It just goes back to that weirdness of having Marcy versus Razor. Like, you can save the rebound to get away from static link, but to go onto the Razor or anyone else, you need that rebound up. So it just feels like the Razor has the edge there every single time, forcing that choice out. XC learn.
Whitemond's around. No level 6 timing yet on the Enigma. He's only level 3, so XE Learn is going to be happy enough to keep chasing Whitemond, and it looks like he's got himself another kill. Very nice pick up there from XE Learn as Thompson. He's going to try and chase down Roger. Sonic Wave is up, but XE Learn's going to make it very hard to chase him down. The Death Prophet, so far, so good. 1-0-1 is the scoreline of XE Learn. Laning stage has gone extremely well against Thompson, and we're just waiting for the next EXO to maybe start pressuring that mid-tier 1 tower again.
Only a few seconds away from that cooldown. They're really dragging a lot of supports mid, and they just can't get too much done. Exo's up. Whitemon, he only really has the Malefice to scare them back. And it's not enough to really stop
Up.
XE Learn.
Silence is there. They'll blow up
Ooh.
Thompson. Nice lift there from Zhao Bonbon, and XE Learn this time with the 1 point in the silence. He's going to have plenty of controllers now. Zhao Yu does rotate. Whitemon gets caught out. That's going to be a second. This is more like the RSG we know and love, John.
Oh yeah, they're in form. I think all they had to do is really just force T1 to play a much more standard game. No messing around with the draft, nothing too strange, and this is just straightforward RSG. They get a strong lane for Learn. He plays these tempo mids that just kind of focus on objectives, just like his DK as well that he excels on, and they just kind of focus in on him. They have really good saving supports, decent enough hold coming out from Xiao Bonbon, and now they swing up top. MKS, he's got level 1 fervor, so it's not the fastest progress, but still more than enough to kind of work through the living armor if they want.
Absolutely. MKS, he'll get to work. Smoke is out from T1. They are trying to rotate up towards that top lane. T1 are trying to buy a bit of time. There's the glyph out. Through the dire jungle, Thompson and Whitemon, they are sneaking up from the backside. Problem is, Zhao Bonbon is there to break the smoke and not allow the pincer maneuver that T1 was trying to go for. Nice deny, though, from Zephyr. He does at least get the T1 tower denied off as Zhao Bonbon is running. Heavenly Grace does buy him a little bit of time, but Thompson will eventually take down the Rubik, even finding the Courier of Roger. But if you're RSG, you're very happy with that trade. You got the top tier 1 tower. Even if it was denied off, who the hell cares? It's enough.
You open up the map more. You can invade that forward part of the top jungle, give MKS a really good spot to farm in as he builds into this Battle Fury. And the Battle Fury, it makes sense because you do feel like this could be a longer game with a lone druid. Speaking of, Ana.
Spell still is there. Zhao Bonbon has got his own Spirit Bear now. it's even green. Look at that, Jonathan. You don't see that too often. A green bear coming up from Zhao Bonbon. They'll lift up the other, and the Spirit Bear, well, going down, is going to try for a TP away. Anna, oh, he's going to make it. No
What?
roots coming out from the Spirit Bear of Zhao Bonbon. Well, that's not very nice.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I wonder, if you're a Rubik and you steal the bear, do you try to save it the entire time and give it your farm? I mean, you're
No.
not going to farm up, but sounds funny. Probably not. I mean, Xiao Bonbon is working towards the Ags, so he's going to have a nice set of spells to steal out, especially from, again, Whitemon when he
Sorry to
eventually
interrupt,
finds a
John.
6.
I just had to say off the back of your point there about the Rubik Spirit Bear. There was a bug once, wasn't there, where you had Rubik's Spirit Bear, and if you give it items, the items just
All
disappear
right.
forever.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
respawn
I
with
don't
it,
know
it
if
just
that
becomes-
ever got fixed, John. I don't know if it ever got fixed.
It's true. Why is it normal colored when it gets disarmed? That's funny. It's
Yeah.
not green anymore when it's out of range, so...
It's a feature.
All right. Does it stay if you steal a different spell? Surely it does, right?
Sure, I don't
No,
think
okay.
so. Never mind, we'll find out later. Roger, he's going to drop mid lane. XE learn, he might have the Spirit Bear this time from Ana. Goes to chasing. Never mind, it will survive as now the Sonic Wave. Thompson going to push back the Death Prophet. In comes a new Spirit Bear. And XE learn, he will be punished. Ana, he'll take a double kill on the Lone Druid. That's a big pick off here for T1.
And that's a lot of gold to funnel out onto Ana. Working onto that Desolator timing we talked about earlier, once that's up, these objectives will just melt. And they're starting to make moves onto that mid. Whitemon still at 5.5, no threat of Black Hole to kind of sustain them through this. They will force out the Fortify under rotation out from MKS, but they are making moves
Cuckoo.
bot.
Yeah, bot lane, Cuckoo dropping low. The living armor keeping him alive, though. Thompson now dropping low as well. Xiao Yu, he's dropping the lowest, however, on the Marcies. He does try to run, but the Shadow Strike and the Scream from Thompson barely within ranges now. He's gone a bit far, but the Fairy Fire is going to keep him alive. Xiao Yu cops the tip from Cuckoo. Cuckoo will not drop here on the Razor. That'll be another 2 kills the way of T1.
And they're starting to feel themselves getting some aggression out. While RSG kind of wants to play that farm game. RSG has to work as a unit. You can't afford to kind of just have Exalearn and Roger just run up by themselves. Like, there's not enough play outside of the sustain game for the Death Prophet. You do need some damage up. You do need some additional control. The Chao Bon Bon does provide. So you kind of want to play as a unit of 3 or 4. And you're at the point where Xiao Yu, once this BKB is up, should be a lot comfier and trying to join together, so you're really just buying space for MKS at that point. For T1, they managed to really give Ana space. They're just running away from where the bear is playing, allowing this farm, allowing this build up. Number 2 in net worth on Ana. And again, once that Deso is up here, I mean, these towers are not going to last too long. You've got the Black Hole ready on Whitemon now as well. It's a little bit of a threat, and you still have to watch for Chao Bon Bon. That additional hold is ready if need be.
That it is. I mean, he won't have anything like a blink or a BKB on Whitemon, but it is that added factor, just that fear factor, right? Of where's the Enigma? Have we got a stun ready for him? Where's our Rubik? Is he ready to steal the spell? Speaking of that Rubik, John, I just realized Xiao Bon Bon has an Ags queued up and is trying to farm it.
Yeah, he's had that queued for a while. I mean, he's been trying to save up for it. It's progressing nicely enough, and just the Ogre Axe at least makes you a little bit more durable as well. And again, he has a lot of spells to steal, so he's a lot to work up towards. And the question is whether or not he gets that fast enough. This game just feels a tiny bit slower for RSG. So they're not really able to snowball too much. They might find Ana if he's not careful, but he does run off at the right time.
Got the true form. Roger looking to cut him off, but he's just an Omni Knight, so kind of hard to catch Ana while the tier 1 bottom tower still stands. They will back their way out, and on the brighter side for RSG, even if you don't catch the Lone Druid, MKS is still out farming the Lone Druid right now and has the Battle Fury up. So his farm is set to escalate a lot quicker on the Troll Warlord. We'll be working onto the BKB, into the Aghanim Scepter. We'll have the Dispel with the Ags as well. Very, very effective here against the side of T1. MKS, very important. He maintains that net worth lead.
He's getting the space he needs as well. I think T1 does have information as to his farming patterns. That forward dark triangle ward is great over rotating mid.
Very DP from XE Learn. He does have Roger behind him, and that's going to give him the confidence to be in that position. As now the rebound, Cuckoo, he tipped earlier. Is he going to drop? Overgrowth is out. That'll put a hold to everything. Even the Exo pop, they really want this Razor. Xiao Yu chasing desperately. Even the silence on the Razor, but Cuckoo's fine. Walks right out. And they are going to get nothing out of this Exorcism being popped.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
It's
attack.
massive. It's a long cooldown spell. Archie might feel pressure to rush. The scan does spot them in that area, and they will go in. Thompson's got a flank. There's a ward that does spot him out here, though.
Feel very forced to try and make this Roshan play because the Exo was used. Thompson, oh, he's under vision. He gets lifted up. The silence there as well. Thompson, he's a big pick-off, but he still gets the blink away. Zhao Bonbon chasing him down, but cannot cancel the TP. Still, this does open up the Roshan once again. Problem is, EXO is now gone. So it's up to MKS to get the damage out with Zhao Yu. More TPs incoming. Roshan very low now. You don't have the Quap to blink in and try for a steal. Plasma Field is there, but it's too late. Roshan, it did bash for a moment, but MKS still picks up the Aegis. Even the Guardian Angel being popped is now Cuckoo. He'll rush in. XE Learn in trouble. Roger's already gone. The DP will drop as well. Cuckoo will take it. At the very least, RSG do secure the Aegis. Hell, even Roshan was trying to help out T1 there. John with that final hit bash, leaving the Aegis on the deck. Luckily, Thompson, he was not around to take us out. MKS will get slowed up. He's not going to get dived past the tier 2, though.
Yeah, for T1, that still feels bigger for them. They find a kill on the mid. They take over at the triangle. They should know there are a couple of wards now in this area. And you're at the point where Ana with the Deso can just melt these objectives on a turn. Still TPing out, trying to find punishment.
Get the Spirit Bear. Slow is there. Ana could try for the respawn if he wishes. We'll go for the Fear instead. Still running. T1 is around if they really want to force a fight. The Spirit Bear is just casually walking away. Zephyr is out with the Overgrowth as well. He might just pop it. It's a great position for T1, but they don't even need it. Zhao Yu's gone. T1 will just slowly creep their way back towards the Radiant Triangle as the Spirit Bear is giving all the vision. They won't find anything else, though.
Yeah, no need to rush. They're saving up for some spikes. Whitemon could just rush into the blink here. He's got 2.3k in the bank. We have not seen him have to use the black hole. He does opt for the mech instead. I'm probably just going for, yeah, going straight for the raid pack right afterwards. All aura here, not even needing the black hole this game, as the threat for the Rubik is annoying. With the Aegis still on hand on RSG, though, he might force something.
Wyman looking to tank the gank here for the team. Does end up going down. Quick pick off here from RSG. Finding the pos 5 of T1. You'd love a bit more if you're RSG. Looking for a bit of a chase, but we'll find nobody else. Though I say that, Cuckoo, he will be eventually spotted in the dire triangle, but they're not in position to make the jump yet. In fact, rebound is there now. Zhao Yu, he'll go in. Cuckoo, this time, alone for now. Has the living armor. There's your Overgrowth. Zephyr, he will not be able to save the day. They will take him out. Cuckoo is gone, and now XE Learn. He wants a little bit more. They'll catch Zephyr out on the tree, and that'll be a second. And with the EXO up, RSG, they should have an opening for this tier 2 mid tower. T1, can they defend this? Anna's popped the true form. It looks like they're going to try and slow this one down. Spirit Bear in. Fear is there. Sonic Wave will find Roger. That's the Omni Knight. Now the roots are out. The ensnare's locking down the Marcy. There is no escape. No tier 2 tower to go for RSG. They will be forced to retreat.
That's a great defense coming out for T1. It looks a little bit wonky, dropping your supports like that, but of course do have enough in them to just kind of get it done themselves. RSG, Aegis still stands for 2 minutes. They're trying to get something out with it, but it doesn't feel like MKS can just fully commit with a secondary life. His BKB is almost done, 300 gold away. That could be the timing for RSG to kind of start playing off the back of this troll. But as T1's just allowed to drag this game, I mean, Battle Fury Troll is still losing out to the Lone Druid of Ana. Like, the farm is still ramping up on this Lone Druid. The bear is just becoming this massive threat. AC is almost done on Ana, and once that bear is set, it's kind of ready.
MKS not able to lock down Thompson. Zhao Yu is looking for a rebound angle. Is going to go in, but misses Zephyr. Dust was there, but that also misses. Now they'll see the Treant, but he's okay to back off. RSG, they just want the tier 2 mid tower. But the living armor makes it so hard with all that bonus armor being provided. MKS still trying. Zhao Yu with the jump in has found this Zephyr Treant and will take him out. Great place from RSG. Can they force high ground? MKS seems like he wants to try. There is 45 seconds left on this Aegis. Rebound is out from Zhao Yu, but Cuckoo, he does avoid it. Meanwhile, MKS dropping rather low. Aegis only 30 seconds away from expiring, and they don't want to risk it anymore. In the meantime, as you can see, Ana, He was split pushing the bot lane, but Xiaobonbon is there to defend on the Ruby.
Yeah, they can't quite just freely take objectives just yet. Ana still has to keep his body a bit close. Probably not going to be going for the Axis game as well, unless the game goes ultra late. So we'll have to watch himself a little bit more. With the opening from mid, RSG, they have some play potential. They've got a little bit more map control, maybe slightly easier Roche access if they do manage to find the outpost in top jungle. T1 for their part, I mean, they're still in a pretty comfy spot. They're not far behind, less than 1k lead. Most of that in the core matchup from Excelern, really. That seems to be where most of the farm differential's at, along with Xiaobonbon. Smoke out here from T1. They've got all their spells ready. We haven't, again, ever seen the black hole from Whitemon because of Xiaobonbon's presence. So there is still that threat if you somehow find a fight without a Rubik here.
So only 8 to 12. It's been a very slow game between these two teams. We've seen pickoffs here and there, but no massive team fights broken out yet. No 5-on-5s is what I'm saying here, John. And Xiao Yu. Jump is there onto the Marcy, but he's got a BKB. Nice rebound out. They got the overgrowth to lock him down, but Xiao Yu now looking for a turnaround. Has found Cuckoo. Will force out another BKB as Whitemon on the side. Ready with the black hole, but the silence is going to put an end to that. They'll lift up Whitemon and take him out. Sonic Wave even being committed, and now Ana. Got hit a few times by the Marcy, but doesn't really take too much damage. Is looking to back up, but RSG are not. They will go for a chase. They've got the 4v5 advantage. They know the ultis are down. They want a bit more. Ana is going to try and fight back with the Heavenly Grace and the Guardian Angels. They are there. Fear is out there from Ana. He'll force them back once again. Excelern, he'll keep trying for the Spirit Bear, but it's still not going to be enough. Instead, the rebound, it will at least land onto Cuckoo. But these living armors make everyone so tanky. Nevertheless, RSG surrounding him by 5. They will take him out. Though Zephyr, he's in again. Going for a bit of a root onto Xiaobonbon. Now Thompson, MKS, he's in danger. Forced to pop the battle trance. Will go onto the Spirit Bear. And eventually should find it, and will, though Ana, he'll respawn the bear now. Back on a Roger. They've got the Omni Knight. That'll be 1 down. T1 looking for a bit more. Will start rushing as Cuckoo. He'll voice line from the graveyard. In goes Thompson onto Excelern. A great nature's grasp holding two of them down. Xiaobonbon, he's got the fear out. It's not going to be enough though. He will drop to Ana and they'll even find Excelern. RSG, they are trying so hard to punish T1. Get maximum value out of these fights, but T1, they turn it every single time.
It feels like RSG is just overcommitting for these prolonged fights. Like once you found those key pickoffs, once you pop that Guardian Angel, you don't have much more play left. T1, they've got pretty low cooldown spells. They've got this really jumpy quap from Thompson that you don't have the best control for. And you just kind of have to temper yourself here. You don't even have this BKB on Excelern. So it's not like your DP can stand front line that safely yet. You don't have the, I mean, you have some good sustain coming out from Roger, but you know, it's not like the big flash heals, although.
Here we go again. Battle Trance is available for MKS, but there are 5 heroes from T1 moving in. Big Sonic Wave out with the fear. There's just no chance. Ana and Thompson, they'll take down 2. And with the T1 group up towards the top lane, AC finished on the bear. It's time to maybe go for another T2 tower. Or at least their first T2 tower. But they will rotate mid lane instead. Maybe just not ready for it yet. As long as they're farming, they'll be happy. You are up against a Troll Warlord after all. And against the Lone Druid, against the Razor, it's not the most amazing matchup when you get into the late game for the Troll.
No, it's not an easy one for MKS, and they just kind of set themselves up for that. Cuckoo's last pick, Razor, just works out well in this draft.
Rebound, Xiao Yu, that's aggressive. He does have a BKB. He's got the Omni Knight to Heavenly Grace. They will put an end to the tier 2 push going on. Plenty of damage being dealt, but not quite enough to finish the job off. Zephyr, top lane, might just be a little bit annoying, but Xiao Yu seems to know he is around somewhere. Zephyr, though, gives him the bok and just TP's right out of it. No problem. So state of the game now, 10 to 17, T1 1k ahead. RSG, they've been putting on a great performance, much better than game number 1. Still feels like T1 are favored in this game too, based off how the game's going. John, is there anything in particular you feel RSG need to do to really try and start dominating this game too?
Like, they have been finding the support duo just fine. I think they need to be able to maybe put a handle on Thompson or Ana. Like, you need to stop this Quap from just jumping in and out. Your hold for the Queen of Pain isn't particularly amazing. Like, you have to be able to land this long duration silence up from Learn on the DP, and then just hope to goodness that MKS can get some roots off in between as well, to kind of just get that damage off. And once you do take care of Thompson, you do lose that disruptive factor in these fights. The Ag's fully up now as well on MKS, as you've been calling out, Mike. So the self-dispel and the enemy dispel on hand here for the troll to play with should give more tools for MKS to kind of do what he wants in the middle here. But T1, they just play it safe. They keep getting that farm up. They keep getting the build up. Once Cuckoo has this Heaven's Halberd, your window for MKS just becomes pretty damn tough to find.
Certainly is. It certainly is, John. That Halberd's going to play a lot of dividends here. Rather pay a lot of dividends for T1, I'm sure. Fun fact, Jonathan, this whole game, I don't believe we've seen one black hole being committed yet by Whitemon.
No.
It's a bit sad for Zhao Bonbon. In fact, hold that thought. Zhao Yu made a jump in, but will make a jump right back out. But for Zhao Bonbon, he hasn't even had the chance to steal the spell yet.
Yeah, I think Whitemon really understands and respects just how well Xiao Bonbon can play that Rubik. Black Hole, it's not the hardest spell in the world to steal either. So you just play it safe. You don't give that opening for RSG. It feels if RSG had something like the Black Hole, these team fights would end up way differently. And the fact that T1's been finding these wins without having to use that team fight control means that, well, if you didn't need to cast it before, why start casting it now?
Dire are scanning.
5-man smoke. RSG, they get some wards down on the high ground, but that's really about it. T1 are still holding their own dire jungle high ground, so they seem more than comfortable just waiting for the smoke to come in. Instead, RSG are going to try and force the Roshan. But the Eidolons, they had vision of this. So T1 is well aware Roshan has been started. Second Roshan of the game. There's that halberd you brought up earlier. Cuckoo's got it up now. That's going to make life a lot harder for MKS. Bashes out from Roshan. Silence there. Zhao Yu, he'll jump in. Whitemon will drop immediately. A nice start for RSG. No Enigma to worry about. T1 still trying to move in. Roshan getting low. There's a Sonic Wave out. Thompson! He takes the Aegis away from MKS! Oh, here we go. Zephyr, he'll pop the overgrowth. Still RSG, they are winning this team fight. Thompson, he'll blink away, but the rebound. Zhao Yu, he's having none of it. He wants to punish Thompson, but he's the one to go down. In we go, Ana. He'll rejoin the fight. Spirit Bear rushing. He wants something for his trouble. Zhao Bonbon might just have to be the target, but he'll get Blinker. Nice spell still away from Zhao Bonbon, but Thompson still on the chase. Wants the Rubik, but he will be okay. What an Aegis snatch away from Thompson.
Oh, man. That Sonic Wave push back just to give himself a little bit of window to pick up that. Aegis cuts off any advantage RSG wants. Like, they find the supports, it cost them their offlane. They do force a buyback out, but it's not the biggest deal in the world here for T1 on the supports. They are getting massive on their course, like Thompson now with Kai Sanj. Very hard to pin down, and MKS.
Yes, he doesn't have Battle Trance for another second. It's available now, but he's going to have 0 damage in this if he can't get out. Thompson will not be able to slow him down. In fact, now the turnaround. RSG, they want to punish once again, but can they? Ana, he's around. No, the fear's out. No Battle Trance to come, and there's no buyback on MKS. This is not good. They're onto the high ground. Great fear from the Spirit Bearer of Ana. Just using the Savage Roar, and we've got problems now, John. We have big problems for RSG. High ground has been started by T1.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that just melts.
It really does.
Yeah, I don't know if you can stop this right now on the side of RSG. You don't have Unleash for 40 seconds, no Troll for 30. That half minute's more than enough to clear out these 2 set of racks.
It's rough. There goes one. At least they have their tier 2 top tower, so you can't get Mega. You can get tier 4 if tier 1 are feeling extra spicy, but you cannot get Mega. Nullify now up on Ana.
Has fallen.
It's a tough one. Nullifier just totally removes the Guardian Angel as a factor. Like, even if you use that to kind of dodge Ana and Cuckoo's damage, he's got a solution on hand. 13k net worth lead, 13 to 21 here for T1. The tier 2 tower, as you mentioned, still protecting RSG from full megas. But there's really nothing stopping T1 at this point. Again, they've been taking these fights without having Whitemon to use the black hole. I want to see him just go 0 black holes this game now. Just never use it. Why did he even use a skill point in it? He has it at level 2. Why? Just max out Midnight Pulse and get stats. You don't need that spell.
It's the 5-head play from Whitemon. They can't steal this spell if I never use it. It's genius.
Top tower has fallen.
You're right, John. Why even to skill it? It could have been the first game where Enigma just never skills Black Hole. The history of Dota. Whitemon, you could have made history, sir, but you didn't do it. You didn't do it, Whitemon. In we go. 5-man smoke against a 4-man smoke, but T1's got the higher ground. They saw Rexy learn. They're going to jump in, force the BKB out. Thompson, he'll get silenced up, but he's got his own BKB as Xiao Yu jumps in onto the bear. Ana in trouble? Not really, though. They overgrowth Xiao Yu up. Heavily Grace. It's going to buy a little bit of time for Xiao Yu to rebound out. Nobody dead quite yet on either side. So T1, they might need to back, though. Xiao Yu does drop now. Thompson, able to secure the kill on the Queen of Pain. Cuckoo, still looking to move in again. Looking to put a lid onto this game is T1. The much stronger team right now. The clock is ticking, says Cuckoo. And he's not wrong. RSG, they've got to find a way to defend this high ground. They're onto the final tier 3 tower. Look at that tower.
God.
It's gone. Ana annihilates it. In with the nullifier. MKS is gone. He'll buy back this time. He's got the gold available. Battle Trance is still up. But the Raxes have gone. This bear is not fair. Oh, the roots are out as well. The overgrowth from Zephyr. There goes XE Learn. Onto the tier 4 towers. GG's called. They've seen enough. Please leave us alone. T1 proving to be way, way, way too strong here against RSG. And there's your black hole out. Enjoy. People wanted in the chat, Whitemon, he's a man of the people. He'll throw the black hole out eventually. No spell still for Zhao Bonbon.
No, if I know Whitemon, if I know chat, they would have wanted no black holes at all. And just maybe a big whiff at the end on the Ancient. You know, the Ancient's the objective, the Ancient's what you black hole. It's still T1
Cuckoo's
looking
very happy.
as
Look at
dominant as ever. Yeah, he's just smiling. He is
Cuckoo.
stuck smiling. He
He's a
needs some
statue.
help. Yeah, he needs some help. He's happy stiff now. And well, the side of T1 showing us again, they can run these more standard drafts. You can ban out the Morphling and Marcy.
Someone help
all
Cuckoo.
you want.
Someone help Cuckoo out. He's stuck. He's lagging, John.
You know what it is? It's March. He did something to Cuckoo just to have him be focused, and that's March's regiment live. But RSG, look, they take care of the Morphling. They pick up the Marcy themselves. And they force T1 to play a more standard game, and we do get a more standard draft out here from T1. Maybe the Enigma support could be argued to be less standard. You had a perfect game for Ana here, 11-0-8 on the Lone Druid, and I think that just solidifies this opinion on T1 now. You know, maybe the first series you say, all right, they were running some weird stuff with the Marcy. In game 1 here, they did some funky stuff with the Undying, but in this game too, there are no two ways about it. T1 plays a very clean, smooth game. Laning phase into mid-game and late-game decision-making were all spot on with a very, arguably very basic and standard draft.
Well, that's our best of 3 series going down the drain there. T1 proving to be way strong once again. Jonathan, before we do talk about our next series of the night, you know what this means? Because someone had some words about this T1 squad.